Good evening, Epiphany Lutheran Church and friends.
Good evening, St. John Lutheran Church, friends, and family. Good to be with you tonight. It's Friday, May 15th.
Pastor Mary, I need some fun tonight. What about you?
I need some fun too. But I should share before we have fun, for those of you who watched my devotions the other night, we have some good news. Things are moving along for Samuel in a very good way with Scouts, and we expect to be able to announce what's happening soon, but I just will say from how things were the other night to how they are tonight is a 180 turnaround, so it's really great, and we're very happy about that news, even in the midst of other problems and issues and losses. So we're very excited because tomorrow will be Sam's big 18th. Yay!
Yay, Sam!
We're very excited for his birthday. So yes, I could use some cheering up because I got some big prayer requests later tonight. So.
Yeah, I understand. Same here. So, well, hey, Sam. Sam, I decided to tell you not what states to go to today, but what countries, if you go to other countries. Here's the one thing. Now, Sam, I know you've really wanted to try to learn how to play the piano, right? Mm-hmm. I just want you to know that if you are in Germany, you can't play the piano at midnight.
Interesting.
There you go. It's a law. All right. You have a joke for us, Pastor Mary?
Sure. What kind of man was Boaz before he married Ruth?
Ruthless.
He was ruthless. Yes, that one is good. I like that one. Yes. After having children, Adam and Eve started getting a lot of questions from their kids about why they no longer lived in Eden. Adam had a simple answer for this: your mother ate us out of house and home. Of course, always got to blame Eve. You know how that goes.
Sam, here's another thing. If you go to France, by the way, Sam, I just want you to know something. Ketchup is banned in school cafeterias.
Huh. Why is that?
That's a good
question.
question.
Do we know they probably don't want ketchup on their truffles?
I won't go into. I'm not going to read
French
explanations.
Fries.
There we go. So, but
you want another one from me?
Another one, yes.
A little girl finally got to attend a wedding for the first time. While in the church, the girl asked her mother, "Why is the bride dressed in white?" The mother replied to the girl, "Because white is the color of happiness, and it's the happiest day of her life today." After a little bit, the girl looks up at her mother and says, "But then why is the groom wearing black?" Kind of sad.
Sam.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Okay, you ready? I want you to know, I'll give you two of them. In Switzerland, Sam, I want you to know that it is illegal to own only one goldfish. If you're going to own goldfish, you have to do two. Okay? And if you're in China, I just want you to know this too, Sam. Reincarnation is illegal without the government's permission.
In where?
In China.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. All right, so Kathy Gates said, "Where's that Oli and Lena joke?" And Sven, that I said was a little much, but several of you said you wanted to hear it, so here it is. One day, Lena stops Oli and tells him that the outhouse is full, and he has to do something about it. Oli comments that Sven is coming over the next weekend, and since he has been going to engineering school, he should have an idea of the best way to handle the situation. That weekend, Sven comes over, and Oli explains his dilemma. "Sven, we've got to do something about the outhouse. It is full, and Lena is getting very upset about it." "Well, Oli, I have an idea. We will place several sticks of dynamite around the outside of the outhouse with a fuse just long enough to allow us to run behind the house before it goes off. The outhouse will be blown straight up. The crap in the hole will be blown out into the fields to fertilize them. Then the outhouse will fall right back down to where it was." Oli thought this was a fantastic plan, so Oli and Sven got to work and set all the dynamite just right. They lit the fuse and ran for the house. Just as they got to the back of the house, Lena came running out the back door and made a beeline for the outhouse. Before Oli could stop her, she ducked into the outhouse, slamming the door behind her, and boom! The dynamite blew. The outhouse then shot straight up. The crap was blown out to the fields, and the outhouse dropped right back down where it originally sat, just like Sven had planned. Ole runs to the outhouse, worried about Lena, and reaches it just as she opens the door to come out. Lena, are you all right? Lena's a little shaken up, but responds, yes, Ole, I am fine. But I have to tell you, I'm sure glad I didn't let that one go in the house. Like that's pretty cute, pretty funny. I love it.
Here's another one, Sam. If you're in Vietnam, I want you to know that you will be fined $300 if you drive without any hands.
Huh.
Where?
In Vietnam. And in Canada, you can't text while waiting in a drive-thru.
That's it. But you're stopped.
Yeah, you're stopped. That's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Lena had 2 chickens. One of them got terribly sick, so she killed the other one to make soup to get the first one well again. A Norwegian, Swede, and Finn made a bet about who could stay the longest in a pig house. Pigs have their own houses for winter use on Scandinavian farms because it's so cold. Pigs had their own houses where I grew up too, and we were German and Irish. They all went in at the same time. After 5 minutes, the Swedes came running out. 15 minutes later, the Norwegians stumbled out the door. After 20 minutes, the pig ran out. So I guess that means they left the Finns in the pig house because the pig ran out and the Finns stayed behind. Hopefully nobody, if you're a Finn, that you are not insulted by that joke. All right, Ole and Lena are getting older, and Funday, they're out in the car, and Ole sees the red lights flashing in the mirror, so he pulls over, and the policeman says, Ole, what the heck are you doing? Well, said Ole, Lena and I went over there, this is how it's written, to the supermarket and got some things for our dinner, and now we just have to go over to the drugstore for our medicine. Ole, says the policeman, Lena fell out of your car 4 blocks back. Oh, thank God, said Ole. It was so quiet that I thought I was going deaf. I hadn't read that one before. That's pretty cute.
Are we ready for a song? So, by the way, this song tonight comes at the request of Kathy Roston. So, Kathy, I assume you're watching, that you and Doug are watching with us. So, at your request, Sam was able to come up. This is going to be a familiar hymn for many people. I'll have to look at the words. I think I could do the first verse pretty easily, but we'll have to look on for the rest. I think I can see it. So,
can we
Sam's
sing with
going
you
to do
or no?
What a Friend We Have in Jesus.
Yeah, alright, What a Friend with Jesus. I hope you all enjoy. And just remember, if you guys want me to play any other songs, just request them and I'll make sure to find them and play them.
And I have a fun, fast tune for next week if nobody comes up with one. So.
Alright. Sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer.
You two are too low.
Oh, what we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pains we bear. so faithful. Who will all our sorrows share? Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Kathy. I was thinking about it. What a great song, right? Have we, trials and temptations? Take it to the Lord in prayer. That's what we've been talking about quite a bit. So,
Yep.
good words.
Yep.
Good words.
Yep. You can tell we didn't practice together though. Next
No.
time we'll try to practice. It's been a really busy day. We're getting ready for Sam's birthday. We went out and did some shopping and wore our mask and kept our 6 feet and working through boxes that actually I think I had not gone through from when we moved here 5 years ago. Because the wonderful Gates family is coming with their trailers tomorrow to help us get some stuff, to the dump. And we're recycling what we can, but nobody wants old mattresses. So thank you, Gates family. We're very grateful to you for coming tomorrow. So we've been busy, and it's the last day of school today. Finished up a week early, although Sam has a few things left to finish, but he will. Well, I mean, high school.
We don't have to tell on him too
It was
much.
supposed to be another week of high school, and his teacher who we talked to today said, yeah, that didn't help us, but it's all almost done. So, almost time for summer. Okay, so let's see. Oli and Lena went to the Olympics. While sitting on a bench, a lady turned to Oli and said, "Are you a pole vaulter?" Oli said, "No, I'm Finnish, and my name isn't Vaulter." That's a cute one. Lena greeted Oli at the door of their apartment when he came home from work. "Guess what?" said Lena. "Remember we've been talking about getting a more expensive apartment?" "Yeah," said Oli. "What about it?" "Well," said Lena, "now we don't have to look. The landlord just raised the rent." Do you have anything else?
Let's see what I got for you. Well, I can tell you that if you're in Malaysia and Singapore, you can be fined if you are found spitting. So
Well, we have a friend. Well, he lives in Vietnam.
yes.
Phil Baker.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
You just heard from me. He better not drive with no hands, or
Yeah,
he's in trouble
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So.
I don't know if
And
Phil
if you're in Australia, it is illegal to intentionally disrupt a wedding.
Well, that means if somebody's really in love with the bride or the groom, they're not supposed to come and
That's right.
confess before they get married, huh?
That's right.
Can't have any
That's
dramatic
right.
scenes
That's
at a
right.
wedding.
And by the way, just so you know, little things on all this. I don't know if you know, but I am sitting here right now. We talk about the strange laws that are in the Bible, but if we went by the Levitical law, I want you to know that right now I have broken today 2 parts of the Levitical law.
What is that? What did you break?
Well, number 1, I trimmed my mustache this morning.
Oh, yes,
and
you
and
did.
you should not trimming your beard or mustache is against the law, as well as the fact that you and I both, just by the clothes that we are wearing, are going against the Levitical law.
What's wrong with
Because
my clothes?
if you wear clothes that have mixed fabrics of more than one fabric,
Okay, yes.
it's against the law.
Yes, well,
Strange but true.
thank God we don't live by that law, huh? It's a good thing. All right, I give the last joke of the night. Let's see. Sven was going for his morning walk one day when he walked past Oli's house and saw a sign that said boat for sale. This confused Sven because he knew that Oli didn't own a boat, so he finally decided to go in and ask Oli about it. "Hey, Oli," said Sven, "I noticed the sign in your yard that says boat for sale, but you don't even have a boat. All you have is your old John Deere tractor and combine." Oli replied, "Yep, and they're both for sale." Very cute. Very, very cute. Hey, you know what? We're early. We're only at 7:14. We're pretty early tonight.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, that's all
do you have
right.
anything else to
What's
share?
that?
I mean, I've got some prayer requests. You've got
I got
some
prayer-
things to share,
yeah,
and
some prayer
so
requests,
if you
yeah.
want to go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and just so you all know, and we'll just try to let people know about it, and I'll let people know for worship, is just for the Epiphany folks, those of you that know Jane Jones passed away this afternoon. So I know that they're going to be meeting with the funeral home tomorrow. There will be the graveside service with very limited people being there. I'll let you know about that as soon as I find out something, and this will be a beginning of worship. I know that I would probably tell for most of you, just know that we're going to hold everybody in prayer as they kind of get together with that. But we want to hold the family and friends of Jane Jones in our prayers.
You have any other prayer requests or anybody?
No, that's the main one
Okay.
right now. Pray that our other son survives the night. Christopher's been having a rough night tonight, so if you can pray
Rough day and
that
rough night.
that he survives and we survive the night, we'll be doing just great.
Yeah. So Dave Friend and Laura Miller and I and Laura, I can't remember the other woman. I'm sorry. We're all at 5 Loaves and 2 Fishes today, helping out. They're getting ready. Tomorrow there will be a drive up to get food, and if you know anyone that has need, I think this one there's no questions asked. You just come. I know that we bagged sweet potatoes and grapefruits today, and there's other kinds of good vegetables and lots of bread that they'll be giving out. But Steve, who runs the 5 Loaves, 2 Fishes, he asked for prayers for his grandson Eli. He and his wife are permanent guardians of Eli. He is a 7-year-old, and he right now has fluid in both of his ears. He's considered deaf right now. Hopefully, Sam had tubes in his ears when he was a kid, and it cleared up the fluid so that he could hear. But he asked for prayers because he has to have tubes in his ears, both ears. He has to have his sinus, his nose cleaned out, or something done in there, and he has to have his adenoids removed. So Steve just asked that he will do well, and it will all go well, and that his hearing will be restored after the fluid is out of his ears, and that and I also pray that his body won't reject the tubes, because that could happen, and that the infection will go away. So I told him we would definitely pray for that, and we'd pray for Eli. And also my friend Larry, who David's and my both friend Larry, who we've asked for prayers for, who has had stage 4 cancer. He lost his fight early this morning. He went peacefully. He was having some pain, but he had hospice, and they were able to give him medication to help him rest better, and his family was with him, and he died at 4:30 this morning. And Larry was very, very special to us. Larry's a farmer in Illinois, close to Lincoln, Illinois, and great man. When we moved there in 2004, he and Vicky were so welcoming, and the boys got to go out. We went out to the farm, and they were just so kind and caring. He just always had a great laugh and a great smile, and just a super caring individual. You couldn't ask for a finer human being. So our hearts are with Vicky and Kenzie and Kevin and all their family at the loss of Larry today. And I also want to ask prayers for my high school dear friend Sherry Schumann, her mom Josie, who just celebrated her birthday recently, came home from the hospital on hospice. They don't know how long she has to live. So Josie, I don't know if you or Sherry or Joe will see this, but I just want you to know that we're praying for you. We're praying for peaceful whatever time is left, and that you'll have some time to be together. And we just pray that you feel God's presence with you in this difficult time, and we hope I know that Josie's faith is strong, just as Larry's faith was strong, and I know that God is with Josie in this time and with all the family, but we just pray for them and lift them up and ask God to surround them with peace and love in whatever time is left for Josie. The other prayer requests haven't changed, although we pray that things will finish up with this transition of what we're doing with Sam, and that things will just keep moving along. We pray that Samuel will have a great birthday tomorrow. 18 years ago, he came into the world, and he weighed, 9 pounds, 2.6 ounces. He was one big boy. And He didn't want to come into the world. We had to have a C-section to get him in here. And when he was born, we got to see him. They brought him up to me, and we looked at him, and he said, "It's Christopher Jr." because he looked exactly like Christopher did when he was born. He was born at 5:16 a.m. on 5/16, so we never forget that. And he was born the day that the Star Wars 1 through 9. He was born the day the second Star Wars came out, and I know that because my whole plan was to go see Star Wars and then have him, and instead had him, and then a couple weeks later went and saw that new Star Wars movie. So anyway, Sam is a Star Wars kid, and we couldn't be prouder of him or love him more, and we thank him for all he does for us, all his editing and watching the cameras and helping us out every day, every week. So we love you, Sam. Happy birthday. And we won't be with you tomorrow night. We'll be celebrating with Sam. But we will be back with you on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for our services, our respective church services. And we'll be, tomorrow we'll be celebrating Sam, letting him do what he wants within reason of the COVID-19. And probably while he's doing whatever he wants with his friends online, we'll be packing some more because we're getting closer and closer to the day that we close. I do want to share with the St. John people, we have a COVID-19 task force. Dr. Vaughn Maples, an infectious disease doctor, and his wife Cheryl Maples, a nurse. Phyllis Hastings from our council, myself, and now I'm going blank. Oh, Sandra Hartwood, who is the head of our worship team, have all met this week. We have made a recommendation to the church council. They have accepted our recommendation. We will not be having worship in person in June because probably 65+% of our members who attend worship are either have a compromised immune system, have a spouse with a compromised immune system, or are in the high risk range for their age. So for St. John, we will continue with worship online, but we will continue to meet regularly on Zoom, and we will be going over all the things we need to do to have as safe as possible as opening at the congregation, and we hope that will be sometime in July. But we are continuing to watch the numbers in the community, especially in Spalding and surrounding counties, and we have not seen Spalding go down yet. We're looking for things to flatten down, so we are continually watching that, keeping an eye on that, and we will keep you in the loop. The building will remain closed. If you need to come by, please call or text before you do, as we're trying to keep things as clean as possible in this time. But we look anxiously for the day to be together, but we also are trying to be listening to science and doing what we think is best for our community. So I just wanted to share that announcement. The council approved that last night, and council continues to meet every 2 weeks. Staff meets every 2 weeks online. Both groups, we stay informed. The task force will be meeting every 2 weeks, but probably after our next meeting, we'll probably be meeting weekly online. And so we are reading a lot of recommendations, and the bishop sent a very detailed 28-page recommendation list just yesterday of the things that each church needs to look at for their own decisions about when they are to open, but all the factors and things that we need to be thinking about. So we are doing this with the best of everyone at church in mind, and we just want you to know that we do miss you, we do love you, and we look forward to the day when we can be together. We may still not be able to touch, we may be wearing masks, but we do look forward to that day to be sooner now than later. So
I think it's time to close.
I think it's time to close. All right. Well,
I was going to say,
want me to pray?
I'll pray.
Okay, you pray.
Okay. God, we thank you for gathering us together on this fun Friday. We ask you to be with all those who are watching, and ask you to bless their lives and bless this time, and to encourage them during this time as we continue to seek how we are called to be in this in this different time and place. Encourage us. We lift up all the prayer requests we have lifted up before you here tonight, and for all those that those watching right now have that on their hearts as well. We lift this all up to you and just ask that you continue to remind us of your presence that is with us, to encourage us as we seek to move forward. We pray this all in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for everybody
Thank
for
you.
birthdays this week, anniversaries, and happy birthday to Sam tomorrow. And we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.